Hello, 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 hello. Hi, hello, my friends. How you doing? Kat Miller here, and welcome to the session where I'm sharing 3 sneaky content mistakes that could be tripping you up. This is going to be super practical, super helpful, and I believe it's really going to help you to create content that gets more attention and more engagement, and most importantly, inspires people to want to take that next step towards you. So before I dive into the tips, just drop a hello in the comments if you're here live. Drop a like, drop me some love, and drop an emoji or a word in the comments. A lot of you come here every week, and I really appreciate it. When you type in the comments, anything, when you give me a like or a love and you type something in the comments, Facebook notifies more people about the videos. So I give a prize every week to someone to say thank you for engaging. And the prize is a mini marketing makeover. And I give you a suggested upgrade to a piece of your marketing. So it's a super valuable prize. So to be in to win, all you need to do is to respond to what I'm sharing in the comments box. And it also creates this interactive experience, which helps you to retain what you're learning, and it makes it more fun. It makes it more of a back and forth dialogue as well. So last week's winner is Lauren Ann. Thank you, Lauren. Congrats, and thank you for your engagement in the Facebook Live video last week. Please send me a message on Facebook, and we can arrange your mini marketing makeover. Fun. Okay. So let's dive into 3 sneaky content mistakes that could be tripping you up. Now, most of us know by now that content creation is a really important part of your trust building marketing strategy. And if you can't seem to get your content to be engaging with people consistently and converting them into clients, from strangers to followers into clients, and taking them through that journey, it usually comes down to a few mistakes that a lot of people actually don't know about. They have no idea. And the truth is, there are people out there that are absolutely hanging out to help, to have you help them solve their problem. They're really hanging out for the help that you provide, but most of them can't find you at the moment. So people with problems that you can solve are waiting through Facebook right now. And if you're not jumping out to them through your content, through your videos, through your posts, it's probably because your words aren't crafted to be as compelling as they could be. And it's not because you're not awesome, it's because your content isn't grabbing attention, not only grabbing attention, but keeping their attention. So your word choice, the choice of words that you use really matters. And tiny tweaks can make big leaps. Oh, that kind of rhymes. Tiny tweaks can make big leaps. So the words that you choose can produce literally a flick of the finger or a, hey, come back, pause, consume. So are your words getting the flick, or are they getting the pause and consume? We obviously want people to stop and consume our content. So if you want to attract new clients fast, learning how to create content that's really compelling, that gets attention, that keeps attention, and that inspires people to take an action, to move towards you, is a priority. It's got to be a priority. It's great to have you here. Those of you that are here, welcome. Just pop a hashtag live if you're here live. If you're watching the replay, just pop a hashtag replay. So if you're using, for example, online events as a lead generation strategy, which is what I recommend for most coaches and experts and service-based business owners, if you're using online events, which is what I use for the majority of my lead generation strategy, it's really hard to get people to come to those events if you don't have compelling content. So you need to be able to put your words out there on video and through your landing pages, your emails, your social media posts, everywhere that you show up online, in a way that's very compelling. And this strategically grows your audience. It attracts ideal clients, so not just anyone, but it attracts those real targeted people, those people that are your perfect right fit match. When you've defined your niche and you're speaking directly to them, you're joining the conversation that they're having in their head, you're speaking to them about their biggest pain points, because that's what people pay for. They pay to get their biggest pain points solved. And it also inspires the right people to buy from you. It means that you can fill up your events. It means that you can fill up your coaching programs or your online course, whatever it is that you're offering as your paid offer. And you can also do it in a way that feels really good to you. It's so important that we don't do it in a way that feels pushy or manipulative or vague. We can do it in a way that's very specific and very clear. So let's dive into the mistakes. Here are the three biggest content mistakes that I see that could also be tripping you up. Number one, you don't have a well thought out content strategy. A lot of people are fumbling around in the dark, posting all sorts of things on social. I see it all the time. I see it every day. And I can tell that they don't have a strategy. They don't have a well thought out content strategy. And it's actually really hurting their brand. And in some ways, actually in a lot of ways, it's actually putting people off. Because if you don't have a strategy, people can actually tell, usually, and it can actually hurt you because it can add to people's confusion if they're just getting bits and pieces of information and it's quite random. It's not strategic. So you haven't thought out the journey of the stages that your clients are going through. So it can actually add to them going, what does this person do? Why is she suddenly posting about this? I thought that she had these types of people. It can actually be quite a disservice to your followers, and you're wanting to build that loyal following. So I used to do this. I used to post on all sorts of things because I'm interested in all sorts of things. I'm interested in time management. I'm interested in productivity and mindset and psychology and spirituality and business and music and art, and not really art, more like the creative side of design. I'm interested in learning about all of these different things, and I used to post all sorts of different things. But when I dialed it in to say, okay, I help coaches and experts, I help service-based business owners who want to attract more clients, everything changed for me. That was a few years back now. And if you look way back, you'll see that my content was so confusing. It was bits and pieces. So when you have a strategy, it's like having a map, and it shows you the journey. It shows you the journey that people go on. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say there's a guy called Carl, and Carl, let's say he likes to go for a walk every day around his area, and he does typically the same route every day. So he gets out of his house, he turns right, he goes to the end of that road, he goes up the stairs, across a bridge, he goes down, he turns to the left. Like he has the same route that he goes on every day. And he remains quite safe and quite, within that close distance to home. He doesn't travel too far, and he's got that same route. Then there's someone called Sally, and Sally, on the other hand, is spontaneous. So Sally loves stepping out of her house with no direction, no plan, and she follows her nose, and she loves finding new places, and she often gets lost, but she really loves the thrill of it. Neither of these are right or wrong, of course. But my question to you is, are you more of I'm going to call it cautious Carl, or are you more of a spontaneous Sally? Cautious Carl, spontaneous Sally. Just put Carl or Sally in the comments. What do you typically? Do you typically take the same route around your area, or do you like mixing it up and doing a different one all the time? So if you are like cautious Carl in your content, so we're thinking content strategy now, you're probably staying quite safe and predictable. You're probably not really rocking the boat. You're not probably standing very strong for something. You're probably saying things that are trying to appeal to everyone. You're probably not really trying new things. You're sticking to the same thing. You're sticking to one type of content. So let's say you love giving tips. You're just always giving tips, always tips, and maybe always the same platform. So you don't really venture out. And it could become a bit boring. And you're probably blending in a little bit because you're not jumping out. You're not repelling people because you're too scared to repel people because that's not safe. Whereas marketing, we have to repel some people in order to attract the right people. So if you're a Carl type, you can become kind of blind to the things around you, and it can become a bit monotonous and a bit repetitive and a bit boring. But if you're a Sally type, you probably don't have a lot of structure. You want to discover new things, but you don't really have that sense of direction. You're probably doing different types of content. You're probably sharing lots of different types of topics. You might be using the latest trends. So you might be going TikTok, Reels, Instagram stories, whatever's Clubhouse, whatever the latest thing is. You probably post when you're inspired, but you have kind of gaps in your content consistency. You might be really fun to watch, really entertaining, but you're not really getting people trust you to consistently show up and rely on you to deliver consistent, reliable value. So you don't want your content marketing strategy to become like Carl, where it's really boring, but you also don't want to be like Sally because you're probably lacking direction. But if Carl and Sally both have a map, if they each used a map shows you where you're going. So whether you're doing the same route, you might look on the map and say, hey, I could try something new, or I could try this way and give some different variety. For Sally, it could show her some ways to be more efficient, where she can still have fun, but she can also be a little bit more consistent. So that's kind of a little bit of a scenario of why having a map can really help. I see a lot of problems that people face because they don't have a map. Like they're sharing content that's got nothing to do with the problems that their ideal client has, because they haven't really thought about it in advance. They're posting what's on top of their mind, not what's on top of their audience's mind. Is that making sense? So you might recognize yourself in some of those scenarios. A lot of people don't have a client journey mapped out. And if you think about it, if you're like, right, I'm inspired, I'm going to do a YouTube video, and you record a YouTube video, you jump on Facebook and you say, hey, I just recorded this, here's the link, and you're leading people to YouTube, rather than thinking, hey, what's my capture strategy? What's my opt-in? How can I get people to come to my website, rather than having something a little bit sporadic like that. Hope that makes sense. Great to see you all here. Hello. Great to have you here. Number 2, you're not creating enough curiosity. If you're taking notes, number 2, you're not creating enough curiosity. I say this all the time because it will never stop being true. The main job of your marketing content is to create curiosity. You want to create that feeling, otherwise they will scroll away. So obviously we need to give lots of great free content, but we also don't want to just give away the farm, as they say. We want to leave them hungry for more. We want to build a desire in them. So what do we do instead? I call it the void value dance. The void value dance. And this is where you highlight a void. You highlight a gap they have in their life, a void, a problem, and you tell them about that problem, and you show them that you understand that problem intimately and thoroughly, because you used to have the problem, right? So back in the day, you had the problem, you learned how to solve it, you went through your own journey, and now you're the guide and they're the hero, and you're going to help them through. So you bring up a problem, you highlight this void, and then you give them some value. So void, value, give them some value to help them. But you don't help them solve every problem. You help them solve one micro problem that sits under the big macro problem. So for example, I help people to grow a profitable business. The biggest problem they have is they don't have consistent, high-paying clients coming into their business so that their business is profitable and sustainable. Under that big problem, there are lots of little problems. What do I put in an email? How do I do my Facebook ads? How many times a week should I do videos? How do I get my ads to convert? All these different smaller problems. So I can jump in and help them with one small problem. But obviously, for example, right now, I'm sharing free content, but I can't solve all of your business problems through just my free content. Even if you went back for the last 2 years of me doing this pretty much every single week, it would be very hard and very time consuming for you to try and figure it all out. Write this down. People pay for a path. People pay for a path. So yes, I'm solving lots of problems with my free content, but they still need my help. People still need to know that there's a new void. So you help them with that problem, but you open up like a new door, a new problem, a new void. And this is why we call it value void. And so, for example, if you're running a workshop, you don't want to just give value, you want to open up new problems. Value void, opening that door. It could also be called like a problem solution dance. Or tension relief. That's the shape of pretty much every good speech that's ever been written, has these elements of tension and relief. And most people don't know how to do this. Most people, they don't know how much value to give. They don't know how to give away great value without overdoing it. And like for me, there's so much that I don't share for free. There's way more that I don't share for free than what I do share for free, even though I show up and give a lot of free value. Otherwise, there's this false sense of people having their problem fully solved, and we're actually doing them a disservice. If you think about it, most of us still have the problem after we watch a video, after we read an article. It's very rare. Think about it for yourself in your life. Have you ever watched a video and your life's transformed? You might have had an aha moment, you might have had a breakthrough, but it's very rare that we transform. We need to work closely with someone typically to transform. You can't really transform with just information. We need to work with someone if we want a transformation, not just information. The other thing that's important with your free content is to give them ink spots. I call them ink spots. I never knew. INK, I never knew that. So there's the sayings that say there's nothing new under the sun. But if you can say it in a way that they haven't really heard it before, or say it, give them a tip that they haven't heard before that's not typical. It's a little bit more interesting, a bit more spicy, a bit more, oh, I like that, I'm inspired. That is valuable. That gets people coming back, but we don't give them the full path. Just drop a Y for yes in the comments. If anything I'm saying is making sense so far, just drop a Y for yes in the comments. Number three, content mistakes that could be tripping you up is you're not inspiring action. A lot of people don't have the skill of inspiring action. I call this skill of inspiring action being elegantly influential. I did a whole free training on this last week where I gave my 5 best tips on how to be elegantly influential. So if you haven't checked it out, you can go back and watch that one. But to be really practical here in this training, it's about looking at your CTA, your call to action. A lot of people don't add the right kind of CTA. That CTA, whatever you're going to call them to take action on, that's where the magic really happens. But your CTA won't work if you don't understand the right type of CTA to use and the right placement where they are in their journey. It's providing the next best logical step. And a lot of people try to rush the process and get someone from cold, like from a Facebook ad, into a call with you. Like that person doesn't know you at all. There's not enough trust built yet. Or people on a social media post will try and sell their program. they don't understand the journey. They don't understand that it's got to be a sequence. So for example, you're watching a Facebook Live probably because you saw a content post telling you about it. You might have just seen that I went live and just jumped in, but for a lot of you, you saw a post, you came to the Facebook Live. My call to action is an event that I'm running where I go deeper into these principles. So if you like this, you're going to love it. And then that is the journey sequence. And then in the workshop, I have people that want to go further and actually work with me after that. Then I make that invitation. So it's a journey of sequential steps. We ask people for time by giving first. Otherwise, it's like this high commitment ask before there's enough trust. So that's one mistake people use. Another one people use is they use this one blanket kind of call to action all the time, rather than mixing it up. So it gets really boring. And another thing I see all the time is people using this passive voice, like they'll say, thank you for reading my content. Let me know if you'd like to get some further information. Too passive. We don't want to say like, let me know, or if you want, we want to say like, click here, read now, jump over here, grab yours, commands. So just a few little practical tips for your calls to action there. So let's just do a quick review. If we did an audit on your business, number one, do you have a well thought out content strategy that's predictable and profitable in your business? Number two, is your content creating enough curiosity? And number three, are you inspiring people to take action? Because without your content leading to action and taking that next step towards you, it's very hard to build a profitable business. And if there's one key point I want you to take away, it's this. When you know how to create compelling content, your marketing becomes easier, it becomes faster, it becomes more enjoyable, and you become more confident. You connect better with people, you attract more of the right people that you can help. And the good news is you don't have to create a ton of content. You just need to find the juice that really gets people salivating about what you have to offer. And this is why I created a one-day course called How to Attract Clients with Compelling Content. And it's back. It's your final chance for the year to join me live online on Zoom and learn exactly how to do all this, how to be noticed, how to stand out online, how to organize your thoughts and bring your best ideas out into the marketplace and really capture the hearts and the minds of your audience. Just write the word content in the comments now if you are interested, if you'd like me to send you the free invite. It's going to help you get people's attention. It's going to help you articulate your value, inspire people to take that next step with you. It's basically the best of what I've learned over the last, what's really 18 years of attracting clients consistently, but specifically helping business owners for the last 5 years. And I lay it out in a formula that anyone can follow. So if you want a content strategy that you can use to attract more of your ideal clients reliably, just pop that word content in the comments and I'll message you your free invite, or just message me on Facebook and I'll send that to you. I'm going to be sharing my content planner, so it shows you how to create a 30-day content plan. I'm going to show you the elegant influence method, where you know how to influence people elegantly without using any kind of pushy tactics or anything that doesn't feel authentic to you. I'm going to be showing you the 5-step content success roadmap on how to structure your content. But the best thing, it's free. So if you want to check it out, just pop the word content or send me that word. If you enjoyed what I shared tonight, you're going to love it. And until we see each other again, take care, my friends. And remember, the world needs you. The world needs you. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.